It's okay to have emotions. It's okay to react. I'm learning that more and more. It is okay to have your feelings because nothing's perfect and you're never going to have 100% positive emotions all the time. Maybe somebody we're intimidated by for some reason, or somebody we feel in competition with. Every time they come in the room, we start feeling that resistance. We start feeling that negative feeling. But when we step back and actually look at it for what it is, feel the feelings, feel the frustration, process it, acknowledge it. Always do that. Never push it down because it'll just come out later on in a much worse form. But then really take a look at it from an observer perspective. Take a look and see where your energy is at, where your focus is at. Because where your focus is at, that's what you attract. Instead of letting go and going, okay, that's where they're at right now. This is what's important to them. But that doesn't necessarily have to be what's important to me. Their experience doesn't have to be my experience. And it's sometimes really hard to do that because our ego wants to tell us, oh, you got to protect yourself, so you got to be competitive. You got to one-up this person in that situation. You got to defend yourself. You can't let your guard down. And your ego is there to protect you and keep you safe. And in some aspects, that's a good thing. But a lot of the time, we allow our ego to take the driver's seat. Sometimes we have to let our ego take the back seat for a while and allow our higher self to take charge. And how we do this is looking at it from another perspective. We don't know everyone's story. So maybe that person we're in competition with, maybe they're fiercely out to get you for some reason and you never did anything and you know you haven't. And it's unfortunate, it's uncomfortable, yes. But how we react to that is what is important because it doesn't help us getting upset about it. It doesn't help us one-upping them and getting all upset about it and reacting, which fuels their reaction. As you see, it's a cause and effect in a loop. And when we do that, we're taking on their experience as our own. Have you ever noticed that when someone's going through something, whether it's a personal relationship or a situation you're out in the world in, or maybe even world events, it could be anything. And it's really interesting because a lot of us don't realize we take on other people's experiences as our own sometimes. Whether it's the energy frequency, whether it's the emotions of that experience, whether it's actually being actively involved in that situation where it may not be our place. It actually fuels the emotional energy of that situation and it comes back on us. And it's almost like a cause and effect loop. And the way our ego likes to protect us from that is to be on the defense, to think of only ourselves in a selfish way. To look out for number one, that's me. And while it's not selfish to think of yourself first, to replenish your energy tank and to take care of yourself so you can serve others, that's not selfish. Being selfish is when you're only out for yourself and you don't care about anyone else or how the situation affects someone else. There's a lot of differences, as you probably already know. What amazes me is how connected we all are, but we don't even realize it. We don't even consciously think about it. And when we walk into the room and we feel a negative, heavy energy, we take that on, whether it's consciously or subconsciously. Some of us are empaths, like myself, so we feel it a lot more than maybe some. But we all have some level of empathy, and it's really interesting to see how that transpires. The challenge is not to be so reactive. Being proactive is more important. And sometimes that's just letting it go and moving on. Other times it's protecting yourself in a way that is not harmful to someone else. It may be firm. It doesn't mean you're a doormat. It may be putting up boundaries, but doesn't actually intentionally hurt someone else. And I've been doing a lot of reflecting on this, and as I'm talking here, I'm kind of rambling. This is all coming to light. And I think in this world, so many of us are trying to get back to a life of substance and moving on from 2020 and the effects of all that we sometimes lose sight that we're all going through it on one level or another. We're all reborn in some sense, because I can't think of one person that has not been affected by last year on some type of level. A lot of us have used it for good. A lot of us have awakened to ourselves and to each other and expanded our awareness and really got in touch with our higher self and fragments of ourself that we may have neglected for so long. And that's where the shadow work comes in. But shadow work is very important on a regular basis as well, because we're not going to have perfect days, and sometimes we're going to have a really tough time, and not that we enjoy it and not that we like it, and we may even ask, why is life doing this to me? Well, it's not doing it to you, it's doing it for you, whether we see that at the time or not. We grow from these things, we learn from these things, and hopefully we become better versions of ourselves. But it's up to us to see that. It is up to us to think of it in that perspective. Even though we should always go within to find that light and find that love and really accept ourselves as a whole, not just positive and negative, but both, the balance. Sometimes it's nice to have a support system, and it can be one person, it can be several people, it can be a community. It can even be your cat or dog. I mean, it could be anything, or just being on your own, but also knowing your spirit guides are with you and you're always loved and supported, even when you go through the worst time in your life. And I'm living proof of that. I don't know, these are kind of some thoughts I had today, because I feel it's really important for us to go back out into the world on a more even footing, a more hopeful and more inspired perspective. Not all of us have an easy time, and some of us are still going through that passage of what we call dark night of the soul, which is initially the shadow work we're in, or whatever situation we're trying to transmute. So some of us have a lot more to work with, but it doesn't mean you won't get through it. You will get through it. It's just a matter of taking that step. The universe will always support you, and it will take action for you. But it won't do that until you take the first step, until you do the action. And then it'll match every action that you do. It may not always be in the form that you think it will, but most of the time the form it does present you is even better than you could have imagined. And it could be a very hard lesson that you go through to learn something new, and maybe to help others who have gone through similar situations later on. It could be just a beautiful passage of your life that you get to enjoy and experience love and experience the amazing dreams that you've been working for. Or it could be a world with no garbage trucks and no noise during my videos. I think that's my dream and my goal that I'm going to focus on. Yeah. So anyway, I really don't know what this video is going to end up being. I think I just wanted to share with you what the universe is flowing through me today. And it's about empowerment. It's about stepping forth into your own light and stepping into a new perspective and a new world. Yeah, this world is still hardcore. It's still rough out there. But there is a lot more light than there was a year ago. There's new hope and there's new revelations. And I do believe that if we all step forth and really have compassion for one another, as well as do the work that is necessary, we will come out of this in even better form. So that is my Mindful Monday today. I know it's a little rambling, but I hope you got something from it. And I really enjoyed doing these videos for you guys. Please let me know if there's a topic you'd like me to discuss on this Mindful Monday series. I'm up for any esoteric topics or just life topics that you might want me to cover. They can be deep topics or they can be fun topics, whatever you prefer. Let me know in the comments below. In the meantime, be on the lookout for some updates on my gaming channel. Even though the YouTube channel isn't up quite yet, I am very active with my gaming videos on the Hive blockchain as well as library. I'm on those platforms, so all the links are below. So feel free to follow me on there. As well as all my social media. There'll be some other things coming up along the next couple months as well, in addition to that, but one step at a time. I'm going to get the banner done and upload it on my YouTube channel, and hopefully get this thing up very, very soon. So, anyway, I hope you guys all have a beautiful week. Always believe in yourself, and do something good for someone out there. Until the next time, to know thyself is to know thy truth. Namaste.